I want to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers because
Sure.
where there was a lot of other teams that signed a lot more guys, spent a lot more money, what the Steelers did might have one of the biggest ripple effects for the 2022 NFL draft. And that is that they signed Mitchell Trubisky, baby. They won the Mitch Turbisky sweepstakes that you and I talked about a bunch a week ago when we were at the Combine. And there was a lot of buzz around Trubisky's name. A lot of people were talking about Trubisky, where he was going to play. It wasn't going to be in Buffalo again. He was probably going to get the opportunity to start. And you know what? He has that now in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh looking for a quarterback now with Ben Roethlisberger gone. The deal, as we are just recording this podcast, we just found out the details. It's a 2-year deal with little over $14 million as a base, but can go up to $27 million with all the incentives. And you would think that's basically if he's a backup quarterback, he is going to get paid like a backup. If he is the starter, he is going to get paid, well, not quite like the starter, but a little bit more money, getting into close to the $15 million per year range. The big question is, does this affect what Pittsburgh does to go get a quarterback in this upcoming draft? And Connor, I think the answer is no. I still think they love Malik Willis. I still think they're in on Malik Willis. What this move does, it allows Pittsburgh to, at least on the outside, look less desperate when potentially trying to negotiate to get up from number 20 to go get Malik Willis. Because you said on yesterday's episode of the podcast, I had Malik Willis going number 20, and you said they're going to have to move up. There's no way they're going to be able to sit back at 20 and get Malik Willis. And I agreed with you, but I wasn't sure where that spot was going to be. This move to me is a great insurance move and a leverage manipulator more than anything else to hopefully go get the guy that they really want to be starting in Pittsburgh a couple of years from now.
That's right. And how long have we heard the Mitch market heating up like this? It was done by probably the Steelers and the Giants. The Giants thinking of, the familiarity with the Buffalo front office and coaching staff coming down, and then you could have them compete with Daniel Jones. But the Giants had really no money to play with. They did well with what they had, getting a guard in Glowinski and getting a center in Feliciano, but they had really no money to spend. And then when you look at the Steelers, this deal is actually, you nailed it with the reporting initially. Now that it came out while we're recording late into the night, Monday evening, $14 million deal, really just loaded up with incentives. It's not you're our guy for 2 years. It's barely you're our guy for 1 year. But like you said, Trevor, when you call on draft night and you call whoever it may be, the Atlanta Falcons at 8, you want to jump Seattle, the New York Jets at 10, you want to jump the teams in the teens, you don't get taken for a ride. Nobody's sitting there going, you don't have anything on your quarterback roster. We'll take 2 ones to come up 10 spots. You don't want to be put in that position and get taken for a ride because everybody knows you're desperate. Now, whatever you think about Mitch Turbisky, right? Because everybody's been either dunking on this, and then there's the media that's like, oh, he can turn around his career there. I'm somewhere in the middle that he's a true bridge guy for them. Now you have there's 2 things. One, you don't get taken for a ride completely if you got to go up and get a quarterback. Number 2, let's call it what it is. Malik Willis is not ready to play right away. So Mitch Trubisky needs to be the guy that holds the fort. That wouldn't be fair to Malik Willis to draft him and throw him into the fire. I feel that way about Malik. I feel that way about Sam Howell. He started 4 years. I still feel that way about Desmond Ridder. Kenny Pickett, I think, can play right away. He's a floor guy, not a ceiling guy like Mac Jones was last year. But for the Steelers, this is a double, sided sword of a move where you're protecting your leverage and you're also protecting the development of whoever you take a quarterback. But I think the theme has to be here, Trevor. They are still in on the quarterback class for 2022.
All of a sudden, my mind now really goes to number 11 with the Washington Commanders, where Pittsburgh could target to go up, because I don't think any of these teams in the top 10 are super in on spending a premium pick that high on this quarterback class. So I feel like it is realistic to believe that even if you believe Malik Willis is going to be QB1 in this draft, it might be right outside the top 10. Now, if Pittsburgh goes up to 11, they're jumping teams like the Minnesota Vikings at 12, like the New Orleans Saints at 18, right? These teams that might be looking at quarterback, who might be looking to move up even. And Pittsburgh can go to Washington now, a team that is looking for extra draft capital now that they have made the trade for Carson Wentz, and they could potentially get a deal done there. So I look at 11 and I see that as a hot spot for a Pittsburgh Steelers trade up if they want to go up and get Malik Willis and make sure that they secure that.